Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Tonight we're coming back at you with another Ratchet video. But before we get into this, just wanted to tell everybody Happy New Year. Hope you're having a good one, good and safe one. So be careful out there and stay safe, which is the primary thing, which is the most important. Okay, what we have here is an Armstrong ratchet. Yeah, Armstrong, sorely missed company, made in USA, and this is a pass-through ratchet. This is about, let me see, it's about 10.25 inches long. It doesn't have an anvil on it because it's a pass-through ratchet. It has these sockets, so I can't say this is a 1/2 inch, but the size is about 10/10 inches, so this is about equivalent to a 1/2 inch ratchet. And these are the sockets that came with this ratchet. Some interesting things about this ratchet. As you can see, the pawl is visible. There's no covering for the pawl. That's how it was designed, for the pawl to be visible there. And each socket had the gears on them, and that's what the pawl rides on. So each socket would have gears on it. These gears, these teeth, it comes with 36 teeth, and you can see there the teeth and what they look like. This came a little bit pitted. You see in there, you see some pitting. I dropped this in a vapor rust for like a few hours, and it knocked the rust right off of it. So this model, by the way, is 12-902. Here you see the Armstrong USA, patent pending. And let me tell you, this ratchet is really made beefy. It's heavy. You can see here the solidness of it. You see the beam here, it's like thick and solid. The handle is really thick and solid. So this ratchet's pretty much no joke. It's a lot heavier duty than anything from Pittsburgh. Like I had, like we know this set from Pittsburgh. We know this set well. It's the pass-through. They grow through socket set, and as far as the build quality of this compared to this, there's no comparison. This is a lot heavier duty. When I got this, it only came with one socket, and thankfully it's a 3/4 socket. So these pass-throughs from Pittsburgh, their sockets will fit in a 3/4. So if I wanted to use a pass-through and something a little bit heavier duty, I guess I can use these Pittsburgh sockets. The only thing is they're pretty. It makes it pretty long, and if you're using this to get into a tight spot, which usually facilitates a pass-through, usually has a smaller socket height on it and allows you to get into tighter spots. Yeah, but if you don't need something for tighter spots but you need a pass-through, I guess I could use these Pittsburgh sockets with this particular ratchet. I don't foresee that because there isn't much I use pass-through for. I bought that Pittsburgh set a while ago because I needed something with a very low profile to grab onto a nut, and that one, it came in really handy. Okay, let's take this apart. You have a Torx 10 screw holding down the switch, and it's kind of a long Torx or long screw. It holds the pawl. Okay. So here's that screw. I think it had a little bit of Loctite. You can see inside the pawl, the threads of the pawl, but I think the ones here, the Loctite came off. And get the switch off. Here's the switch. The switch is not magnetic. I'm not sure what it's made of, but it's not, I don't think it's steel. It's a little bit soft. The sides here are supposed to be flat, but I think with use they're kind of rounding off a little bit. Still works, but you can see there's a lot of play in the switch when you switch it back and forth. But still working, and I wouldn't want to damage this because I don't think I'll be able to find a replacement for that. Here's the pawl. There's a ball underneath, and there it goes. It came out. There's a spring and a ball underneath the pawl. Here is the spring. And here is inside the mechanism. Like I said, this is like overbuilt. You see how thick these walls are here that the pawl rusts against? You're not gonna damage that. Nice broaching. Very good, very professional. You see all the pitting that I had in there. It's a good amount of pitting. It came right off that evaporust, just like boom. I put in there for like, I don't know, like 3 hours and knocked all of that pitting rust out. And here's the other side. There was some pitting over here too. And knocked that out. Here's the on and the off engravement. And what's kind of like really beefy about this ratchet is this pawl. This pawl is kind of huge. I don't know if I can really like. I'm gonna compare it to another one so you see what I'm talking about. Just to give you that perspective in the camera. I took the pawl out of another venerable ratchet. It's the East Co. Quick Release Craftsman, the old one, the old style one, with the 2 snap rings. And I took the pawl out of that one just to compare it to this. And this is the pawl from the Craftsman. Look how this pawl from the Armstrong compares. It's almost twice as big as the Craftsman. And the Craftsman is considered a very, I don't know, people consider it pretty heavy duty ratchet. People have put Craftsman through hell and they've come out, you know, never breaking. People have had them for 50 years, never serviced them, they're still working. So it's a pretty heavy duty bulletproof design. But compared to this pawl, which is like massive compared to it. Look at that. Look how huge this pawl is compared to the Craftsman. So yeah, to get this back together, it's pretty simple, I guess. They put the spring back in, and you get the ball on top of the spring, like that. And you get the pawl on top of the ball and spring. It might take you a couple of tries to get that. Now you put the switch, orientate it to what side it's on, See if it's switching. Yeah, switching. Now you get your long screw and your Torx, and you screw down the pawl and switch. See, here's like kind of the play I'm talking about. It doesn't look too bad now. I guess I tightened it pretty good, but before was kind of a little bit more play. And the funny part about this is that in the marketing, I did find a PDF online. I think it was like a flyer. It was like maybe less than 10 pages long, maybe like 5 or 6 pages, and it was just about this campaign for this ratchet. And you guys should check it out. It had all the ratchets and all the sockets and all the sets that these came in, and I think the year on the flyer was like 2000. So these came out like around 2000, or at least they were still selling these around 2000, and it was pretty interesting. It was a lot of stuff. I was surprised. They had a lot of sets, a lot of, I think, different sizes also. They might have had a smaller one, like a 3/8 size one. Not sure. I took a quick look, but one of the selling points about this ratchet was that supposedly it was easier to clean because it's open, and I thought that was kind of funny because it's open, you're gonna get more debris in there and more stuff just going in there, and you probably have to service it more. But I guess that was one of the selling points that we're trying to push, that it was easier to clean because it had an open pawl design. Not too sure about that, but yeah. And look, you can see the gear teeth are also pretty long, as the pawl teeth are long, and there are two teeth per side, by the way, on these pawls. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And oh, I forgot to take out, I'm not gonna take it out, but in the back here there's a little like ring in the groove that actuates and falls into this groove up here on the socket. That's what holds it in. It has like a little wire ring. You can see the tip of it here, and you would, I guess if you needed to, you would pluck it out, you take it out, get something, you just pull it out there and get it along the groove to come out. And that's what keeps these ratchets and these sockets in place. Like that. You hear that click? Yeah, that's the little ring there. But yeah, super heavy duty, overbuilt. This is kind of the stuff that makes me regret that Armstrong ain't around anymore. They used to make pretty solid heavy duty stuff, and I'm kind of sad that they're not around anymore. And the sockets also were color coded. They had rings around them. I'm not sure if the SAEs were red or the metrics. I think the metrics were blue or something like that. But you can see here it says Armstrong and USA, and I guess what's this number here? And it had patent pending. So I guess there was a patent that was pending still. Okay guys, that's all I got for this one. Until next time.